All right, let's dive into something truly fascinating today. AI game engines. If you ever dreamt of games that evolve dynamically based on, your choices, where characters react with genuine intuition or where entire virtual worlds can be created almost instantly, you might think that's pure science fiction. But here's the kicker. It's the reality unfolding right now. Our mission in this deep dive is to unpack exactly how artificial intelligence is, well, fundamentally redefining how games are designed, played, and experienced. It's truly a blend of human creativity and cutting edge machine learning. We've pulled from a wide range of sources for this current industry reports, cutting edge research, even some speculative outlooks stretching out to 2030 and beyond. So buckle up, because we're not just talking about the future of gaming, we're talking about the future of digital reality itself. So to get us started, what exactly are these AI game engines, and how do they fundamentally change the game, no pun intended, from traditional development?
Right. Well, what's fascinating here is that AI game engines are these revolutionary tools. They weave artificial intelligence, especially things like neural networks and generative AI, directly into the game development platforms themselves. Unlike older engines that really rely on pre-written code and static
Right,
assets.
the stuff that's already made.
Exactly. These new AI engines enable things like real-time environment generation, truly adaptive storytelling, and non-playable characters, NPCs that feel genuinely intelligent.
And it's not just theoretical, right? Can you give us a concrete example?
Absolutely. Take Google's Game Gen. It uses something called diffusion models. These are AI systems incredibly good at generating complex, realistic data like images or even game frames. And Game Engine uses them to simulate classic games like Doom at over 20 frames per second.
So it's generating the game as it's played.
Precisely. It's generating seamless gameplay on the fly without a single line of manual coding for those specific frames. The real insight here is how AI is moving beyond just helping developers. It's actually starting to create game content itself.
That's a serious leap. Okay, I can see why developers would be excited. But beyond just the cool factor, what are the core benefits driving this transformation? What's the so what for developers and for players like you listening?
Well, I think one of the biggest impacts is the democratization of game development. These tools empower smaller indie developers, even solo creators, to prototype and build incredibly complex games, stuff that used to require vast teams of programmers and artists.
So leveling the playing field a bit.
Exactly. It's sort of like giving a small band the power of a full orchestra. And for players, the real insight, I think, is the shift from a fixed designed experience to something much more fluid, more player-centric. Games can now dynamically learn and adapt to your individual playstyle. They offer truly personalized journeys.
So the game I play could be different from the game you play, even if it's the same title.
Potentially, yeah, unique to you. And for the studios, there's significant cost efficiency. AI-generated textures, animations. This can reduce asset creation time dramatically,
How much are we talking?
sometimes by as much as 70%. 70%, wow.
Yeah, that's a huge game changer for budgets and timelines.
That's incredible, democratizing development and cutting costs like that. I can definitely see the appeal. But how do these engines actually do all this? What's the magic, under the hood?
Right, to really appreciate it, we need to peek behind the curtain a bit. Look at the nuts and bolts.
Mhm.
Modern AI engines often rely on hybrid systems. They combine reinforcement learning, or RL.
That's the trial and error learning.
Exactly, like
Yeah.
teaching a skill by rewarding good outcomes. They combine that with those diffusion models we mentioned earlier. So an RL agent might play the game over and over, generating data on actions and outcomes. And then the diffusion model learns to predict and generate the next frame based on all that historical data, making sure it looks visually coherent. And unlike traditional engines that just, pull pre-designed assets from a library and render them,
Uh-huh.
AI engines are truly creating each frame on the fly. So Game N, for instance, processes your inputs like moving or shooting and outputs a new generated frame in milliseconds. Milliseconds. So it keeps up.
It maintains high frame rates even in really chaotic scenarios. It's almost like an artist painting a new picture instantly based on what you do. Plus, AI enables NPCs to adapt. They learn from player tactics. They avoid repetitive behaviors. They can even emulate human emotions using sentiment analysis, that's AI detecting emotional tone, to dynamically adjust their dialogue and reactions.
So they feel mine.
Much more alive, yeah.
Those technical insights are genuinely fascinating. Now, if we connect this to the bigger picture, you mentioned established and new engines making waves. Who are some of the standout players right now? What are their unique capabilities?
Certainly. Google and DeepMind's Game Engine, as we said, is known for that real-time simulation just from camera inputs. That capability could reduce development time for 3D environments by Well, an astounding 90%.
90%. Just incredible.
Then there's Unity Muse, which is amazing for generating character animations just from text prompts, like type a dragon breathing fire, and it helps create that.
Perfect for indie devs needing assets quickly.
Exactly. Ideal for rapid asset creation. Unreal Engine 5, especially with its AI plugins, is integrating large language models, things like Meta's Llama 3 for voice-driven NPC interactions. We've seen this reduce quest design time from weeks, literally weeks, down to just hours.
Imagine the creative freedom that unlocks.
It's huge. CryEngine is still celebrated for its stunning visuals, and its AI system allows for really realistic physics and character behaviors. Great for immersion. And you've got Godot Engine. It's open source, gaining a lot of traction, and offers robust AI navigation and pathfinding tools. Makes intelligent NPCs very accessible.
So lots of options emerging. Okay, here's where it gets really interesting for you, our listener, because we're not just talking abstract concepts anymore. We're seeing concrete examples of AI's power right now in games you might have actually played.
Yeah.
Think about the Nemesis system in Middle-earth, Shadow of Mordor, remember that? Where enemies actually remember and respond to past encounters with you, the player.
Oh yeah, that was groundbreaking.
I remember this one orc. He just would not leave me alone after I'd beaten him like 3 times. It genuinely enhanced the realism, the engagement. Or consider The Last of Us Part 2. Those incredibly lifelike behaviors in NPCs and enemies, that's AI-driven tactics adjusting responses based on your actions.
Makes encounters feel much less predictable.
And it's not just about combat, right? Civilization 60 uses complex AI for its computer opponents. Each AI leader has unique strategies, unique behaviors, makes every game feel like a fresh challenge.
Definitely keeps you on your toes.
Even in huge open-world games like Red Dead Redemption 2, those realistic NPC behaviors make the world feel so alive, so dynamic. And the vast, unique universe in No Man's Sky, that's all generated through AI-driven procedural generation.
An entire universe crafted by AI.
Exactly. Even older titles like Left 4 Dead had that AI director dynamically adjusting difficulty and pacing based on how well you were doing. Kept things engaging. These aren't just features anymore. They're fundamental shifts in how we actually play games.
Those examples really do bring it to life, don't they? From Nemesis to No Man's Sky, AI is already making a huge impact. But like you said, it's not just about individual features, it's transforming the entire process of game development.
How so?
Well, the key shifts. First, automated content generation. AI generating assets, levels, even whole game structures, saving countless development hours. We've seen case studies. Major studios cutting development costs by 40% just using AI for automated QA testing and voice acting.
40% is significant.
Hugely. Then there's adaptive gameplay. AI-powered games learning from your behavior, adjusting the experience in real time, which leads naturally to truly personalized experiences. AI analyzing your data to create unique playthroughs tailored just for you.
Right.
And finally, enhanced realism. AI simulating incredibly realistic physics, character behaviors, environmental interactions. It just makes games significantly more immersive. And to really drive this home, think about this. A solo developer successfully used Godot Engine and Stable Diffusion, another AI tool, to create a whole roguelike game in just 4 weeks.
4 weeks.
Below.
Oh.
Yeah, with AI handling over 100 unique map generations and adaptive enemy AI, that's the kind of accessible power we're talking about.
Okay, so if this is where we are today, the big question for, I think, everyone listening must be, what's next? The possibilities seem genuinely astonishing. What are some of the really profound shifts we're looking at for AI in gaming, say, over the next decade, and maybe even beyond?
Well, the really profound shift, I think, is that AI isn't just a tool anymore. It's becoming, well, almost an independent creative force. It's fundamentally blurring the lines of authorship in games. By 2030, AI could become a fully autonomous creator, generating entire game mechanics, logic, self-learning gameplay loops.
So the AI designs the game itself.
Exactly. Imagine an AI designing new worlds, new puzzles dynamically, learning how to make them more engaging as it goes. This also means AI creating unique visual styles, animations, soundtracks on demand. We might even see the end of pre-made assets by 2030. And looking further out, maybe by 2035, AI-driven games could continuously evolve, updating themselves based on community trends, personalizing difficulty and mechanics for individual players in real time. The game literally grows with its players. This also has huge implications for storytelling. AI crafting non-linear narratives that respond dynamically to your decisions, maybe even your detected emotions.
Personalized quests, Stories that change as I play.
Exactly, real-time story evolution. By 2030, NPCs could interpret your tone, build relationships over time, actually remembering past interactions, maybe even mimic human speech patterns, humor. It really starts blurring the line between AI and genuine human interaction within the game.
That's almost unnerving.
It could be. By 2035, games might not even have fixed endings anymore. Instead, you'd have persistent, ever-evolving worlds with AI-generated lore that grows organically, without a human writer needing to script every single possibility. And think about the virtual worlds themselves. By 2030, AI could create autonomous living ecosystems within games.
Like digital nature.
Yeah, self-sustaining wildlife, adaptive plant growth, AI-managed weather, even AI-managed natural disasters. Societies within the game could expand or decline independently of direct player action. By 2035, maybe in-game economies will be entirely AI-managed. Dynamic pricing, AI-driven trade routes, real-time responses to player actions impacting the whole economy.
A living, breathing world economy run by AI.
Potentially. And by 2040, think about physics-accurate AI simulations. Terrain shifting due to erosion, objects breaking and decaying naturally, with permanent consequences for your actions.
Now, if I break something, it stays broken.
It could, yeah. A truly persistent world that changes because of how you and everyone else plays. AI will also redefine competition and collaboration. By 2035, we could see AI players evolving through reinforcement learning to compete at world-class levels in esports, challenging the best human champion.
AI esports champions.
It's definitely possible. And by 2030, AI companions. They won't just be scripted bots. They'll analyze your behavior, engage in realistic communication, adapt to your playstyle, becoming true partners in the game. And finally, all this fundamentally reshapes things like the metaverse and cloud gaming, AI enabling real-time compression, predictive streaming, potentially eliminating latency and load times.
Smoother cloud gaming, definitely.
Much smoother. And by 2040, AI-driven cloud platforms could lead to these persistent, AI-governed digital realities, where games become almost indistinguishable from what we consider reality, with AI managing vast economies and societies within them.
That is truly mind-bending to consider. Okay, but given such powerful capabilities, what are the significant challenges? The hurdles we, as developers and players, need to navigate as AI takes on these increasingly creative, autonomous roles. It can't all be smooth sailing, right?
No, you're absolutely right. There are definite hurdles. One immediate challenge is just technical limitations. The sheer computational resources needed for really advanced AI are immense. That could strain system performance.
Things could slow down.
Potentially, yeah. And the complexity of these machine learning models. It can be a steep learning curve for developers trying to implement them effectively. It's a powerful tool, but it's not exactly simple to wield just yet.
Yeah.
Then there are really important considerations around the nature of the game itself and the player experience. For instance, AI's need for vast amounts of player data that raises real concerns about privacy, data ownership, security risks.
Where does all that data go? Who owns it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
You might see regulators stepping in enforcing strict AI gaming data protection policies, maybe like GDPR, by 2030. Also, there's the very real potential for algorithmic bias.
Bias in the AI.
Yeah. AI systems, whether they're used for matchmaking or content generation or moderation, could unintentionally perpetuate biases, leading to unfair player experiences, maybe even wrongful bans. Fairness frameworks will be crucial here. Another angle to consider is gaming addiction. AI's ability to craft these hyper-personalized, endlessly engaging experiences, well, that raises new risks.
Making games too engaging.
Potentially. It could tap into neuroscientific manipulation, offer infinite procedural content, making it even harder for some players to disengage. That's why you're starting to hear talk about global AI gaming ethics boards. And finally, of course, as AI automates more development tasks, there are legitimate concerns about its impact on human employment in the gaming industry.
Job displacement.
It's a real concern. Developers have to strike this really crucial balance. How do you implement sophisticated AI without sacrificing depth or performance or maybe even human creativity? It's tricky.
Okay, so for anyone listening now who's thinking, this is amazing, maybe a bit scary, but how can I get involved?
Yeah.
Or just learn more? What are some practical tips? How can you dip your toes into this space?
Yeah, good question. I think the best advice is usually to start small. Begin by building maybe a simple 2D prototype. Use it to test AI integration rather than jumping straight into some massive complex 3D project. Think of it like a sandbox for learning.
Okay, start simple. Makes sense.
Next, choose your engine wisely. Unity and Unreal Engine are really excellent choices for beginners. They have robust AI tools, tons of tutorials, while Godot Engine offers more flexibility as an open source option.
And speaking of open source,
Leverage those tools. Explore the free AI game engine templates you can find on platforms like GitHub. There's a lot out there. Of course, you need to learn the basics and just experiment. Familiarize yourself with the engine's AI features, read the documentation, watch tutorials, and don't be afraid to iterate. Try things out, break stuff, learn.
get hands-on.
Exactly. And finally, join the communities. Engage with the vibrant game development communities on forums, Discord servers, places like Reddit's Reddit GameDev. Ask questions, get support, collaborate. It's a very active and generally welcoming space.
So if we connect all of this back to the bigger picture, the impact of AI seems to extend far beyond just making games, better. It really feels like it's about redefining what gaming even means, and maybe the very nature of digital reality itself.
I think that's right. By 2040, AI could be creating its own gaming cultures, its own economies, self-sustaining digital civilizations. By 2050, maybe AI simulates entire universes.
Yeah.
Growing, evolving, without needing constant human intervention. It's a profound thought.
So what does all this mean for you, our listener? We've talked about games that learn your every move, worlds that grow and crumble with or without you, characters that can genuinely feel and remember. The line between what's real and what's simulated, it feels like it's blurring at an incredible pace. It really makes you wonder.
Yeah, it does. Will we simply be playing these games in the future, or will we eventually become just visitors, maybe, in digital worlds that no longer actually need us to evolve? And if these AI-driven virtual worlds become truly indistinguishable from reality, will we still consider them just games? Or will they become something far more profound? The question really isn't just how will AI change gaming anymore, is it? It's more like, how will AI redefine what gaming even means for humanity?